What's up, guys? Mike in the building. I'm gonna go over BURU today. It was my main runner, or main runner for me, main winner for me. Um, Traded this particular front side of this move. I had to de-risk take it. I did add this flag right here, in particular because of the book. This was an area that was held down right before it opened, and you'll be able to see that right over here pre-market. Okay, so the reason why I took this flag was because this was an area that was pretty much held down. I did not get that weak open or ads on here. I was able to take some right here and actually watch how they threw a fat bidder. Again, another reason why I actually even took more on this one right here, this flag, and kind of rode this up here, scalped it this time. And the reason why I did that was because if we've had a lot of plays that were kind of popping up, gapping, depending on the market conditions too. I wanted to make sure this was pretty much like a 17% run. Yeah, I didn't get the very top of that, but I got about 17% on that. Not bad of a move right there, but I made sure to be aware of where I was trading against, how this thing actually got there. Things I talked about from my last trade on Rhyme. RME. But this is when I got particular really interested in this setup right here. All right. This is where I caught a massive move and a massive percent return on this room. I caught 30% and then almost 45% returns on this move right here. This was great because this is it clearly painted 0.80s, right? This should have broke down here, and the best reads I'll go for is right here on the book. When we started to actually reclaim that area, there is this bid walk up. Now there's a 400K bidder right here. This should have broke down. Okay, this should have really broke down and actually fell through, but that did not happen. That was that particular breakdown zone right here. You can kind of see it again right here. You know, where this failed and then we broke down. Then we finally retested, failed, and then we finally get over it, and now we're coming back into that. So, you know, real quick, if you just draw this out, you know, this is that zone. All right, so this is where I took that trade. This is where I actually was super excited about this one, moreover than the other one, just because of the soak and zone ads right here. And then watching this bidder come back right here, I got super excited because I've seen this before. I've seen this actually multiple times. Have some videos on this. You know, it's like where they kind of bid prop this, right? And they pull these bids. So this should have broke down. So soaking into this, adding into this, and then seeing the bids come back and seeing this push and start to squeeze and actually swipe this 80 level right down here was really nice, because once we started to do that, we actually started to gain some momentum, right? This pullback was amazing on this name because it's a pullback to a previous area of interest, okay? What was really cool and fascinating about this one, if you were watching this, was that even when this started to break out, they started to pull offers, right? They didn't want to get filled yet. So we actually started to go higher and higher on this one, which was amazing, okay? Um, you know, this, to me, this is some just good book experience, watching this over and over again. Yesterday, I did see a shift where the morning wasn't so crazy, and then we had some runners in the afternoon, particular A and BO, and then even that thing squeezed in the afternoon. So definitely have to be patient. Don't burn yourself out, and then be willing to start to get some, you know, later day type of runs on this one. Again, nice zone ad for me. This should have broken down. You know, this really should have broken down right here. And then the fact that now we're swiping liquidity and we're, again, breaking out of it. This is a very counterintuitive entry right here as well. You know, I know a lot of times some people will say, well, what happens to the bid? The bid pulled, the bid's gone. You know, this is where that screen time and experience starts to roll in more than anything on that one. This is another great re-entry right here. If you missed this, right, nice little pivot play, and so on. The algo is definitely on this one. You can see how they're following up a lot of bids with this, right? Even though they're pulling them, you know, liquidity is being matched with this run. All right. I did rotate this one more time, in particular down here, right before I left, and then I actually stopped out right away once I kind of started to see that they started to pull the bids and really not put them back on. All right, that was a cool little after-hour squeeze. I was not there for that. Um, this did set up a nice 30-minute flag, which I was interested in right here. That's that rotation again. This right here is where I actually played it off of, and more particularly right here off this zone, right? To me, this was a nice zone right here. So this did not break down. This should have broken down right here. This is what it looks like on the book, right? That should have broken down over here, right? There's some big sellers coming in on this one. Right here, you can kind of see how heavy the selling pressure is, and the fact that this does not break down and there's still appetite back over where these sellers try to shove it down. That's why I took this trade. Pretty much at a dollar average, nothing crazy, but it was a nice rotation play for me on that one, right? Small little return on that one. You know, I think I literally did have a 99 average, so 12%. Let's say 10%, you know, right? Nice little 10% win. Then I stopped out the rest. So, you know, I had a couple of trades recently where I was taking 10, 15% and getting two of those, you know, maybe two 10% moves for a soak type of play. This one I was in for about 35 minutes. So I was happy to see that kind of break down or break out and not break down, right? Definitely last week got caught in some soaks that did not work, but learned why, right? Very important where we're trading at. I'm happy about this trade too, this front side move, because if this didn't come later in the day, I still would have been happy with that return. Playing this right here and then also playing this rotation right there, right? So these were the two 15% moves. So that was nice. This one was even better down here. But that's pretty much all I got, guys. I was watching this WW, and how did it go? It's squeezing right now. This is a thicker float, so I'm going to track this one for sure. You know, you look at the daily. This daily is you know, it's very beaten down. So now we have a strong close, and now it's gapping up. You know, so now over here we're going to be testing these areas, particularly tomorrow. This is definitely a nice level right here. Oops. To test. You know, 150s. We're about to probably close into that. And then after that, you know, we have some levels like pretty much right here. Get that ready for tomorrow, actually. On that name, probably run that cross right there. Yeah. You know, so I think we do have more room. So I'll be keeping this. This is a thicker float. You know, the book was a lot different on this one. Very interesting. Moreover, um, you know, 86 was definitely a good ad. This was that daily pivot ad right here, and it's actually not that bad when it pulls back into this area, because if you draw this break, there is a zone right here to me, you know, because you draw this out, it fails, it comes out, it fails, and finally gets over it, and then we pull back into it, right? Also very important. Draw it out, run it straight across. So, you know, it did pull back into a zone. You know, I really should have took a stab on this one and put a stop loss in it, but you know, they had plenty of offers on this book, and we were swiping it. Buyers are still interested. There's really not that much selling appetite on here, you know, when I look back at this, but you know, as soon as it started to get over this passive orders right here in the book, we started to open up even more. And then this thing is going pretty strong right now. It'll probably tap into 150. So we got about 40 minutes left still in the day until we close for 2000. But yeah, that's it. Nothing too crazy. Keeping it simple though. But it was just really nice to get a nice return today on BURU. But all right, much love. Peace out, Mikey.